The following podcast is brought to you by Astro Panda Productions. For more information or to find other great shows, visit astropandaproductions.com or visit the Astro Panda Productions page on blogtalkradio.com.
Welcome.
Welcome to the Gaming with Scissors podcast.
I love it!
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Gaming with Scissors podcast. I'm your host, Nitro Weasel 3K, and I hope you're spooky witches and scary skeletons. Scary skeletons wearing party shirts. You should buy that t-shirt from us immediately. Tshirts.pizza. It's awesome. I like to start everything I do with a plug immediately.
Immediately. There's no unshamed time to have.
Hey, I'm Nitro Weasel 3K. Give me your cash. Throw your wallet immediately at my face. So this is take two. The first time I told a story about how you should be spooky skeletons and play songs on your ribcage. But I wasn't feeling the spooky skeletons and ribcage dancing this time. So instead, you got a shameless plug. Y'all can suck it. I am joined, as always, by Piper. How are you, sir?
I am doing good on this bewitching season night.
Yeah, because you don't get fall.
I get fall.
You guys just get summer junior. That's all
Summer
you get.
I get second summer.
Yeah, you
I get tolerable summer.
Yeah, you get where I'm not sweating nuts summer. That's all I get. And we are also joined by Mr. Astro Panda Productions himself, Ricky. How are you, sir?
I'm doing wonderful. Enjoying my late summer.
Oh, God. Yeah, I'm so jealous. Like, for real. I just got back from a trip from Florida, and it was like 70, 75 degrees, 80 degrees the whole time we were there. And it was so nice. I'm like walking on the beach, like I could live here. And then I remembered that it's Florida.
Yeah. Then you're like, I don't want to live here.
Then I got like crippling illness. I got like the itis the last day I was there. And I was telling Sean, I'm like, dude, I'm super sick. He's like, that's what you get for being in Florida. He's like, all them Florida people breathing on you.
all those old people breathing on you. It's wintertime. They migrate south.
That's right.
That's it. Ugh.
Just huffing doom on me. Okay, so we're going to go through what we did between the last podcast and this one in gaming. And then we're going to talk about spooky games. Or just general things that we like playing during Halloween. Because weirdly enough, or October rather. Because I weirdly enough have a certain amount like games that I like to play during the fall, even if they're not spooky games. So I just figure we'll open it up to anything you like to play during this time of year, like the fall, when you just want to like snuggle up with your like basic bitch coffee, when you're just like, throw pumpkin spice in that and then put it in my eyes. So when you're doing that, what games are you playing? So I figure I'll go first because my list is the longest. So I think I will go first and then we will move on to Piper and Ricky. So you get to hear my beautiful voice for another few minutes here. So that's good.
I'm excited.
I hope you're excited. I hope everybody's excited. You know, I got to be honest with you. Every time that I'm talking to somebody, I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm on a podcast. They get really excited. And then I always use that joke where I'm like, so if you like my voice, you can hear more of it. And then they immediately get like upset and they don't want to hear it.
They're like, get out of here.
Yeah, they're like, you're fucking weird. Did you not? Like, I creeped out. Like, there was this guy when I was in Florida who was trying to like book tours. Like, he's like, I'm going to do a helicopter tour. Go out here, do this gator tour. Go get, touched in your no-no zone by a guy with no teeth in a cabin out in the swamp, whatever tour.
So just a tour of Florida?
Right. Yes. There's a Florida tour, Florida man tour. So, he's like, so I was wearing my NerdLife t-shirt and he was like, oh man, that's cool. What kind of nerd stuff do you like? Are you into like comic books or like video games or you play like games or like do you do puzzles or like, what are you into? And I was like, all of it. And he was just like, oh, like all of it? And I was like, yeah, like all of it. I work for a website and that's what it does. And he's like, oh, okay.
He asked you if you like puzzles?
Dude, he was just rattling all kinds of shit off. And I was only halfway paying attention because let's be honest, I was on vacation and also I'm looking really homeless right now. Like I haven't cut my hair in a while. My beard's getting really out of control. So I don't look approachable. This man probably really just was trying to bring up a conversation to like sell me something.
Right.
And I was walking with my mom, and my mom is the nicest lady of all time. So of course my mom's like, why don't you tell him what you do? And so I was standing there talking to this guy in front of my mom. And he just had no interest in anything that was falling out of my mouth. Like after I was like, you want to hear more of my voice? You can listen to my podcast. He's like, fuck no. Like he was just like done. So that's
He's like,
cool.
you buy a timeshare, I'll listen to it.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a great timeshare. You can use this for 2.5 days, not concurrently, any January you want. Like, what does that mean, not concurrently? He's like, you can only use it an hour at a time.
And it's only good at Dollywood.
No.
It backs
right.
up to Dollywood, but not until she's dead. It only backs up there
What's
once
that
she's
other-
gone.
What's that other place in Missouri that everybody goes? Branson?
Knott's Berry Farms. Oh, Branson.
Oh, God. So, all right, cool. So now that we're done with Tangent Cast, hashtag Tangent Cast, I'm going to tell you all what I played this week. So I played a lot of things, but I only played very little of them because I took my laptop with me, and I finally have a laptop that's capable of, some very small amounts of gaming.
The most moderate of Bejeweled and Peggle.
Yeah, it's literally
Only
just like
PopCap games.
I could play Diablo 1, maybe, on medium settings.
If you're lucky.
So I played some XCOM 2, which I don't really like those games, but I had been playing.
Don't you hate the XCOM games?
Well, I had been playing that. What was it? That Atlas, whatever. The one that was like a MOBA.
Yeah,
I've been playing
uh-huh.
so much of that, and then I was like, dude, XCOM is just that. Only I don't got to deal with other people. So I popped that open, and then when I'm playing the game, it's fun. Like when I'm doing the shooting and the moving my troops around stuff, I like that part. But when it comes to the like gearing out your troops and developing new things and like having to do that management portion, I'm out.
Oh,
I'm
but
out.
you love management.
I do management for a living. I don't want to manage. No, I don't even like managing my own bills. Like
That's
I get
why
things
you
out
don't
of that.
have anything.
Yeah,
Forget to
don't-
manage.
don't like things. So I played that. I played a little bit of Too Dark, which Sean had given me a code for that we had got a review code for. And that game is conceptually neat, graphically neat, but god damn it, I've never seen a game that more so wants you to not be in combat than that game. Like, the combat system is so wonky and it's so hard to manage and it's so hard to deal with that there's
They're
times
just
when
like,
I'm-
please avoid this.
yeah, where you want to avoid it, but at the same time, my brain tells me I'm gonna club that guy because he's not looking at me. I'll knock him unconscious, and then I'll save these kids from getting eated or whatever these weird people are doing in the circus. And it didn't work out. I got super frustrated and quit after like 40 minutes. I was so mad.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah, so I'm going to try and give it a try because I would like to finish doing a review for it because it is interesting and it's got like a super dark story about like kids getting kidnapped and I don't know, it's interesting. So so played that, and then I got obsessed with a game called Sky Hill, which I think I got in a Humble Bundle. Sean, have you played Sky Hill?
You're asking me if I've played a game, so the answer is no.
Okay,
I'm a Steam game collector. I'm not a Steam game player. That's
Fair
my
enough.
problem.
fair enough. Ricky, you heard of this game?
Yeah, I'm gonna side with Sean on that.
All right. So this game, apparently, there is a port that you can play on your phone, and I don't know which one came first, but in most of these cases when there's something like that, the phone port came first. I'm not going to say that for sure because I don't know. But essentially, this game is crazy. So you are a man who is relatively wealthy, and there is like World War III is on the edge of happening. So essentially, it's right
Just
now.
now.
Yeah, it's now. Hashtag no
Okay.
politics in the podcast. It's right now, and this guy goes. He's like traveling for business. He goes to this hotel, and they have security levels in the hotel. So like, oh, you get the super duper uber spectacular like nuclear fallout protection room. Like you get to go there, and that's where you sleep. So he goes upstairs and he's like getting ready for bed, and he's got the news on, and I think he like falls asleep. And while he's asleep, basically nuclear war happens, and it wakes him up.
Oh,
And,
good.
like nukes drop in his city, And because he's in like super secure, you know, building establishment thing, whatever the hell it is, he doesn't get killed. So what ends up happening is he runs out of food and he has to leave the room, but the room is on the 100th floor of the building. So this is when the gameplay comes in. You are on the 100th floor of the building, and the game is like a cross section of the room or of the building. Okay. So you see a cross section of the building. Now, the center section is stairs, and then there are rooms to the left and right that represent rooms that are in the hallway on that floor of the hotel. Okay. You are trying to make your way from the 100th floor down to the first floor so you can get out of the hotel. The whole time you're going down, there's different mutants in different rooms, and it's always randomized, so you don't know what you're going to find. And your guy has to sleep, he has to eat, and you have to upgrade weapons, and you earn stats by killing things or finding stuff or sleeping without getting interrupted. So there's all these stats you get to upgrade on your character.
Good job, you slept long enough. Upgrade.
Well, here's the thing. Yeah, it sounds stupid, except for the sleeping mechanic is that you have to be in your own room. So you have to make your way, like, the hunger meter works that every time you move rooms, you lose 1 hunger. And he starts at 40 hunger. So technically, you can only go through 40 doors. So if he goes down the stairs, that's 1. If he goes into a room on the left, that's 1. If he goes to the room on the right, that's 1. Now, he needs sleep, so he has to be able to get back up to his room. So he really can only travel 20 hunger and 20 back before he's got to sleep.
Okay.
Otherwise, once your food runs out, it takes life. So every time you move, it takes 1 life from you. And he can upgrade his stats by sleeping. And the sleeping mechanic is randomly, it's a random luck of the draw kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Something might happen that keeps you awake all night. You might have nightmares, or somebody might be in the hallway screaming, or you have a bad flashback from the nuke going off or whatever, and it'll keep you up at night, and you won't get fully rested. So you won't get all your health back. You'll be super hungry. You won't get any XP for that sleep time. It's really crazy. So you get to make weapons. And the weapons are based on the stats that you upgrade on your character. So you can be like, oh man, I got a claw hammer, and it's just raw strength. But then you can take that claw hammer, you can tape it to like a mop head, you can make like a giant demon claw mop thing that you can smash a zombie's head in with, and that takes like dexterity because you got to aim it a little more. And it takes speed because you got to swing it faster. So it's really interesting the way it works, but you get to build new weapons. And I played a lot of that game. And I'm seriously considering getting it on my mobile phone too, because it was freaking awesome.
Okay, so you don't play mobile games, so this tells me I need to buy it.
Yeah, it's radical. It looks really awesome.
Is it like this War of Mine?
It's got the same kind of like look to it, I guess. It's a
Okay.
little bit more cartoony. But
I mean, that's
yeah,
okay.
like how it's got like that cross section of the building, and you go between rooms and you manage certain things. You can check, you can go into houses and check items or check cabinets or whatever and get items out of it. Yeah, those mechanics are all here.
I love that game.
Well, yeah, and the cool thing with this is, so there's 2 types of attacks. You can just click the attack button, like just click the enemy and attack him, and he'll just swing his weapon. Or you can click this little targeting reticule and then click on the enemy to attack him.
Hmm.
And you get like a Fallout VATS style attack thing where you can select what part of their body you want to hit them on. And they each have different percentages based on how good you are at dexterity or speed or strength. And then they'll have like a weak spot that if you hit it, you'll do a critical instantly. And that takes like half their health. So it's really, really neat the way that the combat works even. It's super basic, but it was a lot of fun. I played a shit ton of it. So that was cool. I also played SteamWorld Heist for the first time ever.
It was such a good game.
Yeah, dude, that game's fun. I don't know why I never played it. But SteamWorld Heist is interesting. It's basically like you're space pirates and you're raiding different buildings and ships, and a lot of it is depending on what weapons you have. You're like ricocheting shots to kill enemies or like looking for cover, and it's 2D, so it's you don't have to worry about a whole lot. But it's super interesting. I recommend that if you like steampunk and you're into like kind of 2D strategy games, I guess, action strategy games.
Yeah.
I would recommend that.
Have you ever played SteamWorld Dig?
No. What the hell is that?
You're digging, looking for minerals.
That sounds terrible, and I don't ever want to play that.
No, it's really fun. It's not.
Is it like your wine game?
No, it's not a management game. It's an actual
Your wine
action
game can suck a dick.
I haven't played it anymore, so
I don't believe you, and I don't think Ricky believes you either, because we were talking about that before we started.
He just builds office buildings in his spare time.
I'm trying to be a mogul. Don't judge me.
You know the president has a video game, right? It's like a Trump Tower video game.
He has a board game too, because I saw it at my local board game store.
Yeah, but that's new. Probably,
No, it's
right?
old. It's old.
Is it old as hell? Okay,
Yeah.
dude, can we please play the Trump mogul game on stream one more time?
Yes, we can.
I will be intolerable the entire time.
It's all right. It's on stream, so
It's just a game of every building with Trump on the side of it, and then every person in the game looks just like Trump.
it's
It's
just
just a
It's like, would you like to change characters? Yes, and they all have to have orange hair, orange skin, but you can like give them a purple shirt.
Would you
Yeah.
like to be Donald Trump
yeah.
or Donald Trump?
It's literally
I li-
just about building walls to keep anybody with a different skin color out of your neighborhood. That's all it is.
Hashtag no politics.
This
Yeah.
is degraded quickly.
But I used to live in this neighborhood in Florida, and it was called the Chancel Estates, and the owner was Mr. Chan. And every street in the neighborhood was Chantry Avenue, Chancellor Avenue, Chancel Avenue.
So it's everything was based off
I'm
the
not
word
even making
Chan.
this shit up. Yeah, everything it began with Chan.
That guy's my hero. In my head, I just want you to know he looks like Mr. Leahy from Trailer Park Boys. He's just drunk as shit in his underwear, just shooting a gun in the yard. He's like, "This my street!" Like he just doesn't give a shit. Also,
I'm gonna
R.I.P. Mr. Leahy. That's really
Didn't
sad.
he just die?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I'm super sad about that.
Unfortunately.
Debbie Downer.
Way to bring it down.
That's right.
Yeah.
You can always depend on me to crush your ray of sunshine. That will always be my lot in life. Ask Sean.
That's why I
He
don't
hate-
tell him fun things. He's just
He
like,
hates
"Hey,
talking
that's-
to me.
That's stupid.
The other day we were talking about something. He goes, "Hey, you know what's fun?" And I go, "Absolutely nothing." He goes, "Jesus." So
It
whatever.
works out.
Yeah, it's fine.
You keep me grounded.
Right? You mean realistic?
Or under the ground.
Yeah, subterranean.
6 feet under is still grounded, technically.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah. I also played an old classic gem. I played Fear on the Xbox 360.
Man, I love that game.
That game does not hold up. You
No,
played it lately?
I have not played it. in a
Dude,
long time.
it's god awful. It's really bad. Like I was playing it and I was like, hey, I remember 360. Like I liked Condemned. That game's good. It still holds up. It's a lot of fun. This will probably hold up, right? I haven't played this in years. I throw it in. I was like, oh no, what happened? It's so bad. And I'm sure the PC version is better, but oh my god, don't play it on 360. It's a nightmare.
I wonder if one of the newer.
I feel this-
I wonder if one of the newer ones would be more tolerable. Like 3.
Oh, I'm sure it is. It's like The Witcher, which I'm never going to play ever again because it's the
You
worst
do-
game ever.
Yeah, don't play the first one. Play the third one.
No.
Whatever.
Absolutely.
I feel the same about Resident Evil games.
I'm with
like
you.
the first Resident Evil.
Hey,
You play that over again and you're like,
When I played it the first time, I was like, "This looks gross."
I think you should shut your whore mouths. That's what I think.
oh,
You should not
there's a
shit on a national treasure. How about that?
there's a red plant and there's a blue plant and there's venom crawling on the walls.
That's right. That's right. You mix them plants together, you stick it in your mouth, and then you just see things crawling on the ceiling. It has nothing to do with the plants. That's just what's actually happening.
It wasn't even really a game. It was like you get to the first point where you mix the plants together,
Yeah.
and then you just acid trip out, and that's
It
what
just turned
happened.
into LSD simulator. Capcom just made some weird scented LSD thing inside of the game case. It was an actual hallucination. The game
There was
is just
never a game in
actually
the first place.
Yeah, it's just you in real life rocking on the floor while a character just stands in an empty room on a TV screen.
Yeah, and it's like the alternate ending to Resident Evil is like you just wake up in the house in the hallway after a 4-hour terrible acid trip. And you just leave.
You're just all dehydrated and you peed yourself and it doesn't make any sense.
Well, that was a fun game.
Yeah. You're like, man, this is a classic. I'm going to need to get the director's cut. All right, cool. So I also played a game called The Deed. Have either one of you heard of this?
The Dirty Deed.
No, it's just called The Deed. It's a RPG maker game.
Oh no, I like some of those that aren't the worst.
Yeah, so this one could potentially be the worst.
Okay.
So essentially, this game, okay. So Clue is cool, right? Like Clue's kind of a fun game. It's a classic. Clue, the game Clue?
I know what Clue is, yeah. It was a question. I was debating your claim of it being the best, but okay.
It's not the best, but like if you're gonna play a game with like your family or somebody who's too dumb to play like a real board game, you bust out Clue and everybody will have a good time.
Okay.
Or you can watch the movie, which is way better than the game. Anyway, either way. So this game is essentially if you were just gonna be the murderer from Clue. So the point of the game is it's really short. You can knock it out in 25 minutes, but there's multiple endings and multiple ways to play. So you play this brother who's part of like this really weird broken family. You're rich. They're all rich as hell. So he comes into town for I think it's his dad's birthday. And you're like talking to his family members and they're all pieces of human waste. They're the worst human beings on the planet. They're all just trash. Like you go in to say hi to your mom. She's like, you don't sit in that chair. That's for the cat and stuff like that. Like you haven't seen them in like 20 years. They're all just dicks. So the point of the game is you need to murder your sister. Okay. Because your sister's a horrible bitch and your dad has tons of money and you know that they're all going to be dead soon because they old. And so you have to kill your sister so they leave you the inheritance. So it plays in 3 phases. So the first phase is you come into the house, you talk to everybody. Second phase is you get to walk around the house and pick up 2 items. But once you pick up an item, you're stuck with that item. So you can go out into the garden and you can find, hey, here's like, poison for plants and I can take this. Or you can go into your dad's room and he's got like, a belt that you can fashion into a noose. Or you can go into like your mom's room and you can, find a mirror you can break and stab somebody with. So you basically are deciding how you're going to kill your sister, right? Based on items you find in the house. Then, after you do that, you get to go around the house and you have to find an item to plant somewhere else in the house that would be suspicious for the person you want to finger for the murder. So, after that happens, you all go to dinner, then you murder your sister, then you have to talk to the police officer and answer his questions about the conversations that you had with the family earlier. So everything that you've done up until that point, if you like told your sister, like, your hair's ugly as hell, and he'd be like, I heard you made rude comments to your sister. If you're like, no, I didn't. He's gonna be like, that's not what I heard. And like, it makes you more suspicious. So the point of the game is, and I've won it before because I haven't been caught, but I've never won it good enough because there's different like win conditions.
Win good enough.
Yeah. So essentially they'll be like, oh, your sister's dead, but your father thought it was a little suspicious. So he left all his money to the maid. Or whatever, like, yeah. So, like, it's awesome. So, like, you got to go through, you got to murder everybody. You can, like, hit on the maid, and then you can, put her panties in your sister's drawer, and they'll be like, oh my God, she was sleeping with the maid, and the maid killed her. It's awesome.
It's always the maid.
Yeah. So, it's pretty sweet. And you've got, like, when you talk to people, you've got 4 options. One of them's usually you being a jackass. One's being perfectly nice. One's like ignoring their question. You get to kind of pick how you want to play. It's really short. I think it's really cheap. I want to say the game's like just a few bucks. But it was really neat. I finally played it. I got it in a humble bundle or in a bundle with a bunch of other games that I bought at one point.
What's this game called again?
The Deed.
All right. You know what? I think it was Humble Bundle. That name, it does sound familiar. I might have to look because it sounds like a fun game.
Yeah, it's super neat. It's super interesting to kill a few minutes. And that would be another one that we could play on stream that people I think would be interested to see us play.
Yeah.
So the last 2 games that I played, I don't really need to go into how good they are because I think everybody knows. I finally played Hellblade because last time I promised that I was going to buy it because they were giving all their money to charity if you purchase the game. And I did purchase it that day and I played that and holy hell is that game good.
Oh man, it's such a good game.
I can't believe how good that game is. It does graphically, there's some really weird shit that goes on. Like some of the non-primary characters, like if you see a body somewhere and you get up and really look at it, it doesn't look that good. Like there's not a lot of detail. There's not a lot of whatever. I found one section where there was supposed to be this pile of bodies and they were kind of floating off the ground a little bit. Like they weren't like the figures weren't all the way down. So, so that's kind of weird, but they were working on a lower budget than AAA games, and I think it's better than most AAA games I've played in the last year.
Yeah, it was a really small
That's
team.
what bodies do.
They just float.
They float on their bodies float.
They fill up with gas and they just leave the ground.
Yeah,
Yeah, we all float.
Damn it, you beat me to it. Hashtag only it things. No it things on the podcast.
No it things.
So yeah, I played that, and Destiny 2 for the PC came out today, so I played some of that. And
how'd you like that?
You're not going to see me again ever. That's how I like that. I
Really?
had a really
You liked it that much?
dude. I had a bad obsession with the first Destiny. I could not stop playing it. Like it was bad. Like I would come home every night and I would stay up way too late playing it.
I'm super excited that I'm getting it finally. I didn't play the first one, and I played the beta for this one. I really liked it, so
Yeah.
I should be getting my copy on Friday because there were some issues. A buddy of mine is hooking me up with a copy for really good, real super cheap because he can get it through his work. And so I'm getting that on Friday, so that's when I will start.
Okay. Yeah, let me know when you're going to start. The really shitty thing, here's what really pisses me off about it, though. You're limited to a 3-man fire team if you're just going to dick around and hang around on the planet's surfaces.
You don't know more than 3 people anyway.
Dude, I literally was just playing with 4 people, and we had one person too many, so we had to break off into 2 separate fire teams, and we couldn't play together. It was really shitty. It sucked.
Yeah.
It was really annoying. They're like, oh, you can play the Crucible with 4 people. I'm like, ain't nobody want to play PvP? Get out of here with that. So, I don't know, but
That is one of the few games that's actually better to play co-op on a fire team than it is in the PvP.
oh god, the PvP is a nightmare, but they kind of force you into it because they're like, you want this really cool thing? You're like, yes. They're like, haha, it's an event item. You can only get it if you win in the Crucible. Get in there and get in the meat grinder, bitch.
We definitely have to play that one because that's something I'll get on PC as well.
Oh hell yeah, man, that's awesome. Yeah, and I think that would be one that'd be fun to stream. And I know that Steel plays it, and a friend of the stream, Steel, who also streams. I know he plays it a lot. I think it'd be cool to get him in there as well.
Oh,
so
yeah.
we can get rotating groups of people, and hell, maybe some of our fans want to play. Let us know. So yeah, so I played those 2 games. All right, cool. I talked way too much. We are gonna have a quick commercial break. And then you guys are going to have to talk for 10 minutes because I can't put the commercials closer together than 10 minutes apart. So time yourselves, bitches.
Ready.
We will be right back. Stick around.
And now, insurance-minded speeches from Geico.
Hardship. My grandmother would go through it every month to pay her insurance bill. First, she would handwrite a paper check, in cursive. Then, using her own tongue, she would wet a stamp for an envelope. Today, however, we need not weary our hands and tongues. Today, we can pay our Geico bill with the Geico app. Away with hardship, in with bill pay on the Geico app. Thank you.
Yo, everybody get up! Everybody get up! Everybody needs to understand that I'm more than simply a hype man for this rap group. Just like Geico is more than just a company that can save you money. Geico also has fast and friendly claim service, so they can help you when you need it most. And while I do love being a hype man, I also love reading for children's audiobooks. Like Little Bo Peep, she lost the sheep, and she don't know where to find them. Yo!
Geico. Expect great savings and a whole lot more.
We are back. Okay, guys. Talk for 10 minutes starting now. Piper, go.
All right, so the way to put some pressure on me. So I've only played 1 game. Like literally just I've touched 1 game, which kind of
Just
makes
Hots.
me sad. No, okay, yeah, I
Just
don't,
Overwatch.
I don't count that. Yeah, and I don't count that either because it's something that we all play all the time, every single week.
Just with yourself.
This with myself. I just play with myself. That's all I played. No, so
Backgammon.
this week I played
Euchre.
WWE 2K18 because I have a responsibility to buy that game.
Yeah, but you have the responsibility to buy the less shitty version. Did you go balls out and buy like the gajillion dollar version?
Yes.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Okay.
That's the $150.
No, not that
No,
one.
he didn't get the one that has John Cena's JO rag in it.
No,
He skipped that version.
see, that's I tried to buy when 2K17 came out. I tried to buy that and I got hosed by Walmart, and I was just like, nah, I don't even care. So I didn't get the collector's edition. So that's whatever,
That's because you didn't grease their palms.
No,
Old Bill Walmart needs his palms greased before he does anything. He is a tiny,
how
struggling
would you-
business, Sean. I don't know what you expected from him.
I don't know, man.
I'll hold you a copy.
Oh,
Come back here. I'll hold you one in electronic.
no thanks, Bill
Hey,
Walmart.
Sean, can you please? Can you summarize the story that you saw in Walmart that one time about the guy with the really sweet neck tattoos? Was it neck tattoos or face tattoos?
Both?
Are you comfortable saying the story without us getting hashtag no politics in the podcast?
I don't think it's not really politicking. Okay, so
It is considering who our president is.
well, this is before. This is pre that.
Okay.
All right. So I was hanging out in Walmart one day. I don't remember. I was just there getting something. I think I'm sure I was getting something, and I'm walking around, and I noticed this guy walking around who has a giant swastika tattooed on his throat, and then on his forehead, his shaved head, on his forehead, he has the SS. So it's unmistakable this man's political affiliation and personal feelings. So I'm like, that man, there's something about him. Like there's something about that guy.
I don't know.
He has a thing. I can't quite.
Put my thumb on what may be wrong with this man, but so anyway, walk around Walmart and I check out, and then I see this guy walking around again with like 4 TVs in his shopping cart, and so he's pushing these TVs around, and I'm like about to walk out the door. I turn around and I see this man sprint out the door with a shopping cart full of 4 TVs. And then he runs into the wall, like right over by like the big flower stand. So he runs his shopping cart full of TVs into this wall. They all fall on the ground. He gets up, throws them all back in, and then runs out the door. I just look at the old man that's standing at the door, the greeterman, and I look at him. I was like, I think he took those. The old guy walks.
That guy's probably like, when he runs by him out the door, he's like, "Have a nice day now. Come back and see us."
The old man just looked at me, and then he looked at the door at the guy, and he looked back at me. He's like, "He's gone." It's like, yep, he's gone. But then, like the next day, there was a photo in the local news Facebook page with him arrested. I was like, that's him.
Oh my God. And I didn't believe Sean. I thought Sean was making this shit up. I was like, you did not. He's like, no, I just saw a guy. His whole face had Nazi tattoos, and he just stole a TV in front of me. I was like, you're full of shit. You are making that up. He's like, no, dude, I'm serious. So the very next day, I just get this message from Sean. He's like, look, bitch, he's in the paper.
I have proof. Now, kids, just so you know, children out there, if you plan on stealing any high-end electronics, make sure you don't have any face tattoos of swastikas, because the police are going to be able to find you.
There's no hiding that.
Yeah. Like, could you pick him out in a lineup? Yeah, he's the guy with the swastika on his throat. Oh, all right, we have that guy.
Oh.
We got that guy.
Yeah. Oh,
and he's like, he's in the lineup, and he's like, number 7, turn right. He goes, oh man.
Dude,
come on,
that's
guy.
funny. Okay, second tangent real quick. So this is another theft story. So I had a friend that worked in a Blockbuster when we were younger, and it was like his first job or something. And we were in a band together, so we'd always like hang out after we got off work, practicing our shitty band that never went anywhere. Obviously, because I'm here talking to you guys now. So we are, hanging out, doing whatever, and he goes, dude, I tell you, we got robbed last night. And I was like, you got robbed last night? He's like, yeah, man, my store got robbed. I was like, are you okay? Is everything fine? Because this is after we'd been hanging out for a few minutes. This wasn't like he didn't open with this. So I assumed he was fine, but I wasn't sure. So we're talking. He's like, yeah. So these 2 guys come in, and when we open the new games, he's like, it was when Xbox 360 or Xbox was new. I can't remember which one, but he's like, yeah, when we open new Xbox games, we put them up on the counter. So we have to like open them. We have to like take the instructions out and all this shit, put them in like our company cases, and then we get them out on the shelves. I'm like, okay, cool. Cause this is like, Blockbuster. It's like a rental place. So, he goes, these 2 guys come in, and my boss had just gone, dude, I have to poop really bad. So he's like, I gotta go to the back. So he goes, just like watch the store. Like, cause my friend was new. So his boss disappears at the back, and he's like in the bathroom in the middle of assumingly pooping. Right. So he's back there, and the 2 guys come in, and the one guy comes up and he goes, how you doing? And my friend just goes, I'm good. Now my friend is covered in tattoos all the way down his arms. So like from his shoulders to his wrists, he's covered in tattoos. Right. But in the face, he looks like he's an infant. Like he literally looks like he's like 16 years old, and it's really funny. So we're in there, or he's in there, and the guy that's talking to him just leans on the counter, just talking to him. The other guy just jumps the counter, grabs a handful of games, stumps them in this trash bag he had in his pocket, jumps back over the counter, and then walks out the door. And my friend's like, hey,
Police.
yeah, because like, what do you do? So he just standing there, and the other guy just looks at him, and he just pulls out this huge bag of weed, and he looks up at the camera, and he smiles and waves at it, holding a giant bag of weed, and then walks out. And my friend was like, that was the coolest robbery I've ever seen in my life. Like
He just mic dropped.
yeah, he had no idea what to do. So he just walks into the back, and he just knocks on the bathroom door, and his boss is pooping. He's just like, hey, his boss is like, what, dude? Like, I'm pooping. He's like, we just got robbed. The guy's like, what the fuck? Are you serious? So his boss was just pooping the whole time they were getting robbed. And this dude just flashes his bag of weed at the camera and just smiles and waves like it's no big deal. So that's a lot of fun. So I highly recommend working at a game rental store.
If you can find one.
Yeah. At a Netflix rental facility.
So working inside a little box.
Yeah. So, all right, cool. So yeah, is that all you played, Sean? You just played the 2K18 there?
Yeah. So I kind of want to talk about it for a second. So I don't know how I feel about it right now. I honestly don't. And
how do you feel about Seth Rollins' digital abs?
You know, I appreciate that.
How do they compare to Finn Balor's digital abs?
They're about the same number of polygons.
That's not real. That's not true to life.
No.
Finn Balor has more abs than any human being on the planet has any business having.
I need no abs.
I don't know if he knows what a carb is.
Yeah, right. I think I don't. Whatever. Anyway, not important to the story. So what I was saying was, I started playing, and I'm like, man, I really like the game. It's pretty fun. It's very similar to the last one, because as wrestling games are. I mean, what can you really change about them? But so I'm playing, and I'm like creating this character, and I'm like, man, there's a lot of moves that I can use, but why can't I? They're all locked, right? I was like, and then the previous game, it was always okay. The moves are locked, and you may have to pay like the virtual like VC currency or whatever. That's not a big deal. So I started the game. I had 30,000. I'm gonna easily buy all these cool new moves from my creator wrestler, and then go to buy them. It's like, nah, you can't buy these. You got to get them in a loot box.
Boom.
So even almost everything in that game is inside loot boxes.
Even in John Cena edition.
Yeah, even the John Cena edition, you can't get John Cena horns unless you find them in the loot box. So I haven't seen a way that you can spend real money on the loot boxes. So at least that made me feel a little bit better. But it forces you to actually play the game to unlock things. So that's kind of cool. And that's like that's like an old school thing. Like you can't easy your way out of it. So I'm good there. It's just, I don't know. It's one of those things that I'm kind of sad about it. At the same time, I'm fine with it. I don't know. So
do you still use the VC to unlock all the wrestlers though?
I don't know if they were. I think you can get the wrestlers with the VC. You just can't unlock like their move sets without it. But I might be wrong. You might actually have to use the VC to buy the wrestlers too.
Okay, yeah, because that was always the thing. Like you could either use the VC to upgrade your created character, buy them more moves, or unlock locked wrestlers to play in just like single matches.
Yeah, I don't know. It's fun so far. I really like it. But I mean, we're like, you and I are both really big wrestling fans, and Ricky's a fan too. So I mean, I think it's a good game. It's worth getting, even with all the loot box shenanigans that are going on in it. It's like it's not too intrusive. I'm unlocking stuff pretty quickly, and I haven't played it a ton. I played a significant amount, but not like that's the only thing I play. But I mean, it's fun. It's worth it. I'm liking it. I don't know if it's good or not, but I like it.
Cool.
So you got the version that you can play with Kurt Angle?
Yeah, the deluxe one.
How's that feel now, considering the recent pay-per-view?
It's fine. I have yet to use him in the game.
Do you get to angle slam Cesaro through a chair or through a table?
If you want to, but I
want to.
As I've stated personally, I don't care for old Kurt Angle that much.
Does Cesaro have a move where he can push his own teeth up inside his own head?
Like his teeth just fall out.
That's his bonus. That's your bonus content. You get Cesaro missing front teeth.
Yeah. No, it actually has his teeth in there.
That's sweet. Oh, his teeth are playable characters. Like he can get his own ass kicked by his own teeth.
Oh yeah.
That's his finishing move. His teeth jump out of his head and do that triple power bomb on you like the Shield.
Yeah. Dude, I'd play that. I would like that better than the real Shield. Ooh.
Done. I'm fine with it.
Roman Reigns could suck it.
Hashtag Roman Reigns stay safe.
Yeah, please don't come back. However, it would be extra funny if Kurt Angle just remained the third guy in the Shield forever. That would make me laugh. And I would love that. Get on that, Vinny.
It's a fairy tale ending.
It really is. I saw somebody post on one of our wrestling groups that we were on Facebook. It was like when your dad wants to come to your birthday party or something. It's just like them looking all serious and Kurt Angle's behind him with a big smile on his face and his arms up.
Yeah. No, when your dad wants to take you and your friend to the mall.
Yeah, dude, it's so good.
Like one person out of our entire fan base knows what the hell we're talking about. And they're like, "What is this?"
Yeah.
What? This is a gaming podcast.
Yeah.
Yes, they all sound like people.
Yeah, y'all need to just spend the $10 and get WWE Network and join the Cool Kids Club.
Yeah,
it's worth it.
Yep.
All right, cool. So I guess that brings us. I guess that brings us to you, Ricky. The hell you do?
Well, I can say I was thinking before. I was like, did I play any games? I played one game, which was FIFA.
Oh, Jesus.
Which, I'm not playing Ultimate Team anymore. I'm just playing online with my buddies. But no, I also played this game that Sean introduced me to, which was Party Hard.
Oh, dude!
And I actually beat the entire game.
I can't believe you did that. That's crazy.
I beat all of the levels, and then they have like this secondary thing where you can play through its different levels and stuff. But I didn't even know you could run in that game, and so I beat the whole game without running.
Jesus!
I beat the entire game without running. And
that should be an
my son was playing it earlier today. I know, exactly, right? And my son was playing it earlier, and he's like, "Dad, you can run. You just have to press shift." I'm like, "Shit."
Dude, that game is so good. I think all three of us now, I talked about it once, Sean talked about it once, now you're the third person. Seriously, if you have not played that game yet, and I think 2 just came out. So
I know Party Hard Simulator just came out.
Yeah, and you get an insane discount on that, right? If you have
it's 30%.
Yeah.
30% off.
Is that any good?
I haven't played it yet.
I haven't played it. Yeah. But I was going to bring it up last week, but in light of recent events, I just kind of stayed away from serial killing for a little bit. But it's definitely a game worth checking out because it's so simple, but it's just so addicting. I just found myself, I just started playing. I'm like, man. And then every time you lose and you'll get to, so the concept behind it is I'm sure everyone who listens to the podcast knows you got to kill everybody at the party, right? If you get caught in between there by the police or somebody spots you, even if you're at 51 out of 52, you start over from the beginning.
I've been there.
It's like one of those games that you hate it so much that you love it.
Yeah, it is the biggest dick kick of a game of all time. But it is one of those games, I think I said this when we were talking about before, it's one of those games I'll open it when I'm waiting on another game to download. I'll be like, I'll just play this real quick because I like it. I like the style of it, the music and everything. And then I'll forget about the other game. I'll just keep playing it because I can't stop. It's like an addiction. I just can't stop playing it.
Well, I have a similar funny game story. I didn't know how to run with Minecraft. So I started playing Minecraft a long time.
Dude, that's a funny story.
And so the best story ever. Hashtag best story ever. And I played it and I was playing it on survival mode. And I thought that was the only mode. So I'm digging. And we have this great thing called Google now that you could figure it out. Dude, I spent months harvesting ore and stuff to create a big, huge skyscraper. And I finally get done with this accomplishment. And I was like, oh man, I went over to my friend Chris's house. I'm like, check out this thing I just built. He's like, oh, that's so sweet. And I said, I harvested all that, like, and mined for all of that ore and all this stuff and did all that, did everything you have to do, put everything together to make the iron ore and all that stuff. And then his son's like, well, you can just do that in creative mode and you can make it out of diamonds. And I was like, fuck my life.
And then did you hit his kid? I would have hit his kid.
I just walked up to his kid and smacked his kid like the slap, and then smacked everybody else in the room. Oh man, it was pretty gut wrenching because the amount of hours of time that I put into that game and unnecessary hours.
Oh,
but I was proud of myself.
Absolutely.
So that's important.
Yeah, dude. You know what? I love. I actually ran a Minecraft server for a long time. I love Minecraft. I still like Minecraft, but my big problem is that now that there's mines and shit to explore, I don't care about crafting anymore. I just want to go exploring. And
Let me go exploring.
yeah, dude. I never ever build anything in creative mode. I always build it in survival every time. So, my brother will be over there. He'll be like, hey, I made a cell phone. Hey, I made this. I made that. And I'm just like, I don't fucking whatever.
I made a hole in the ground.
You're spelunking.
Yeah.
They need to turn that game into like The Descent. Like you
Oh,
go
God.
down there and you light a match. Speaking this is Halloween, and like one of those white cave crawler people come out of
Whoa,
nowhere.
whoa.
You got to stick a climber's pick in its beehole and just kill it. There's just a giant underground waterway full of blood and just people parts.
Yeah,
That movie's
As a
radical.
little kid. Oh man,
Dude, I recommend that movie. If you haven't seen The Descent, go and rent it. But make sure you get it either on DVD or VHS, because I got the Blu-ray and it looks cheesy as hell in some of the scenes because the CG is awful.
You can't have that fanciness.
Yeah, you can't get a movie like that on a fancy Blu-ray. You're gonna see all the things.
and it's just one of those good movies that you don't expect to be good.
Oh no, it looks like
It's just
absolute trash.
perfect.
Even the cover looks like trash. Now the second one is garbage. I don't even. It was so forgettable.
There's a second one?
Yeah. And if I remember correctly, one of the girls from the first one is in it, and that's like their tying thread. But everybody else was like,
Yeah,
"Nah, I'm
it's-
good. I don't need to be a part of two of these."
Yeah, we've experienced this one. It's one of those things like you have to walk away from it after you experience. It's just sensory overload. It was that one incident is good. We don't need to lengthen this out.
Yeah, we don't need to keep going with this. So, all right, cool. Is there anything else you played?
Nope. And we used up 10 minutes.
Bam, son. It's all about dudes with weed and swastika tattoos and not running in Minecraft. That's how you fill up 10 minutes, son. All right, cool. We're going to take our second break, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about our fall/October/spooky games. So hang on.
Hi, this is Maury Moreland Morrison, here to tell you Geico has more than just great savings. Much more. Geico's been around for more than 75 years, back when they were using Morse code. Sorry, that's just my sense of humor. What's more, with Geico you get 24/7 access to licensed agents on the app, online, or over the phone, so you can talk to them at night or in the morning. So forevermore, just know that no other auto insurer has more than Geico. More power to you. Geico. Expect great savings and a whole lot more.
Awesome, we're back. Hey, guys.
Yay.
Yay.
I thought you were yawning for a second.
No,
That's just how he talks. That's his normal voice.
Now.
That's his non-radio voice.
That's right. That's my non-radio. This is my radio voice. Oh God, if this is my radio voice, holy shit! Trust me, I had to edit down the best of that we made, and I had to listen to my own voice for like, God, however many episodes we had, that many hours, and I was upset with myself. I'm like, I sound like that. People still communicate with me when that's how I sound when I talk. Jesus.
You get annoyed by your own.
Yeah, I'm just like,
yeah,
nah, I'm good.
God, I'm such a.
Exactly. So, all right, cool. So, all right. Sean and I wanted to do something special kind of for Halloween, so we didn't pick like a normal topic. I just kind of wanted to talk about games that you play in fall or the ones that you like to play around Halloween. Now, I'm going to give you guys a weird one that I like to play in fall, and I don't know why this is. But do you guys remember X-Men Legends?
Yeah.
It's like a 4-player. Okay. Those
Yes.
games are great. For some reason, as soon as cold weather hits, as soon as I'm wearing a hoodie and starting a fire in my fireplace, I'm like, I gotta play me some X-Men Legends. I don't know why. I don't know why that is, but like that's an example of something that for some reason it's like yearly. Like every year I have to pull that game out right at fall. And so I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be spooky games that you want to play. But do you guys have anything that's like that you want to play? Obviously, for me, we were talking shit about Resident Evil earlier, but I love the original Resident Evil, and I love to play it when it's fall. I prefer to play 2 or 3, but 1 is still iconic to me. And I usually throw in at least a Resident Evil game. It doesn't matter which one during the fall. I tend to stay away from 5 and 6. We don't talk about those ones.
Those don't exist. Those are non-canon.
Yeah, those are non-canon.
Those didn't.
Along with that on-rails shooter
happen.
bullshit. Fuck that game too.
Was that Operation Raccoon City?
Survivor? Was it Survivor?
I don't know.
Ugh.
That's why I was asking.
I know.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I know I talk a lot of shit about Resident Evil, but I did like the first game. I mean, just the nostalgia of it. But going back and playing it, it's just not the same for me. The first one, I like the second one. I can play those again, but Silent Hill is probably something for me too.
Oh god, Silent Hill's so
really
good.
I've still never played Silent Hill.
That's okay. I heard you guys on that podcast say that.
Don't
talking shit about my Silent Hill.
I don't understand how you've gone this long in life. Didn't you just get a bunch of them though? Somehow, didn't you get them in a?
No, I found one. I had Silent Hill that I still have in the original case and everything.
That's
hashtag if you want to buy this. But no, no, I found it and then I played it.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah, I think Sean, you scored a couple copies too, didn't you? Recently? In a box that you bought, like $100 box. It had a bunch of games in it or something.
I don't know if I had Silent Hill in there or not. I had a bunch of games in there. I don't remember what it was though. But yeah, I never played Silent Hill. I don't know.
What the hell games do you play when it's spooky out?
Okay, so you guys talking about Resident Evil. There's the only Resident Evil game that I can tolerate is Resident Evil 4. And I love that. I play that every single year. It's one of my favorite games. I remember, so when I first got the game, and I played it the appropriate way on the GameCube, it's like probably the single best game for the GameCube, which is weird. Like, why? I'm surprised that game even came out on the GameCube. But so, when I first got that game, I told my wife, I was like, "Hey, look at this game," and she, at that time, the only video game that she was remotely interested in was The Hobbit, which is okay. I don't know why, but she loved The Hobbit on GameCube. And then, we played like, she also like Animal Crossing and stuff like that. But she really was not like into games that often. It's pretty rare. And eventually, she got into stuff like World of Warcraft because she liked to be able to like craft and things. But when I showed her Resident Evil 4, she was like, "Oh, this is kind of interesting." So she sat in and watched me. She got so into the game, like not even playing it, just watching me play it. Like she would sit there and I'd play it for a couple hours and just like super intently, just no words. She would, "Don't talk, just play this game." So I'll play the game, and then I would, she'd be like, "All right, I'm done," and she's like, "You need to stop playing now." And I was like, "Why?" She's like, "Because I don't want you to get ahead." So she forced me to sit here, and the only time I can play this damn game is when she was sitting there watching me. And that was a fun experience. But I mean, that is, I don't know what it is about the game, but I absolutely love Resident Evil 4.
My wife was like that with the Quantic Dream games. Beyond Good or Beyond Two Souls.
Oh yeah,
stuff like that. Yeah, my wife loves those games. She loves to watch me play those games. But I think that's because it's more like watching a movie.
Yeah.
And she also loves to watch me play any of the Telltale games because she likes to be involved in the decision making. So she'll "Oh, do this. So
she'll scream at you what you need to select.
Well, a lot of times I'll be like, "All right, you're making all the decisions," and that it like stresses her out. Like she gets visibly stressed. She's like, I can't pick it quick. You do it."
She's all upset.
Yeah, because we were playing the Game of Thrones one, and she did get upset during that one because you can get killed. You can get people killed in that game.
I started it, but I've not gotten very far in it at all.
Those games are they had The Walking Dead, right? And then they have the Minecraft one, and then Game of Thrones or whatever. Yep. Funny story. We were at the convention last weekend, and so I didn't know that those games cussed in there, and especially The Walking Dead. And so my kids like turn on the iPad and they're playing the iPad, and the volume's loud, right? So there's, imagine twin boys, 10 years old, at a convention, sitting down in a chair, and all of a sudden I hear, "Get down, motherfucker!" And I turn around, I go, "What are you playing?" "It's just The Walking Dead, Dad."
Oh, Dad.
And then there's like 50 people around our booth, and they're like staring at me like I'm the worst parent ever. Like, turn that off! Don't play.
Meanwhile, none of their kids are bathed, and they've all got rat tails. You're like, get the fuck off of me, son. You cut your kid's hair. Grow him some teeth.
The lady's like, "You let your kids play that?" And my son's like, "What the fuck is your problem?"
And then he flipped the table, and then he beat her kid up for looking at him.
He better not flip that table. He be going to kid jail.
But hey, your kid didn't go to kid jail.
Mine?
Breaking pinball machines.
Yeah, my kid almost killed some people.
If you want to know what we're talking about, go back and listen to the live episode where Sean will regale you of tales about how his child crushed a grown man's dreams. It's awesome. I'm proud of her. Sean, not so much.
It was all right. It was a fun time. We had a good time.
Oh, children.
Yeah. But the Walking Dead games, those are another great one that's great to play during the spooky season. The Walking Dead Telltale game is really, really good. It's a lot of fun. And the color schemes, for some reason, like they make me feel all cozy and fall-y. Because they're kind of those muted tones.
All that zombie mutilation makes me reminds me
Yeah.
of why I like the season.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's like Halloween 3. It don't get no respect, but now people like it for some reason. I mean, beyond just those games, do you guys remember The Thing? Do you guys ever play The Thing on PS1?
Like the movie The Thing?
Yeah. Did you ever play the video game?
No.
No.
I think I own it.
Okay, yeah.
Wasn't that PS2? PS2.
Oh, it might be PS2. You might be right. I was thinking of Dino Crisis. Yeah.
Because that's the same thing.
Well, no, they're both Resident Evil clones. So The Thing is a Resident Evil clone.
Oh, is it?
But it's awesome because it's the elements of The Thing. So you got to run between the facilities, and there's like light bars that show you where to go so you don't get lost. Like in the movie, they had like light, they'd have like a row of lights to show where the places between the buildings were. And you never know when the thing's going to like be in something or it's going to be creeping around a room or whatever. It's really neat, but it's got like tank controls. It plays like Resident Evil. And that's another one that's a lot of fun to play during the spooky season because that's radical. Who doesn't like that? Who doesn't like that? Another one, you know what? Okay, Sean, you just played this. Stories Untold. Especially the spooky house section at the beginning.
I didn't play Stories Untold.
You didn't play it yet?
No.
Shit, man. You got to play that game.
I just gave a free copy away.
Oh, man. The spooky house adventure at the beginning of that is fantastic. It's a text game where it plays with your head. And, you'll say like open door, and in your headphones, you'll hear it sounds like somebody opens the door behind you. It's super creepy. It's awesome.
Oh, dude, I got to try that.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. You got to play in the dark while it's spooky out. Well, there's witches and vampires coming to eat your dick.
Well, I only got so long. I got a week.
Yeah, well, we'll knock it out. It'll be fine. You'll do it.
All right.
I know what game I'm going to be playing this weekend is Mario Odyssey.
Why though?
Yay! Can't wait.
Ricky, you make it two episodes of the podcast and you're already banned.
I know. Jesus.
I played it at San Diego Comic-Con and it looks reasonably good. It's not all that bad.
Is it not?
Who doesn't want to throw a hat, right? You get to jump in, now you get to throw your hat. I mean, everything's great.
Is that the whole game? It's just like
boo and be a ghost.
It's just like the open world concept where you throw the hat and you can control like the turtles and the Koopa Troopas. Why not?
The throwing hat simulator. Is that what this is now? Is that what we've degraded to?
Yeah.
It sounds like a shitty Steam game.
Dude, you're gonna love this game. It's okay.
I'm not gonna love it.
Mark my word, as I say it today, someone on this podcast will own a Nintendo Switch before the middle of next year.
It'll be Sean Piper.
Okay,
Guaranteed.
so
yeah,
I actually got into a very heated and physical argument. It made me visibly angry with a man on the internet. Like you do.
Yeah. He was sassing you online.
Okay, yeah. So I'm in a bunch of gaming groups just because I don't have anything better to do with my life. And so I'm talking, some guy he posts like this, image of it. And he's like, oh, this is going to be a great holiday season. Look at all the games that are coming out for the Switch. Okay, the game that's coming out for the Switch is Odyssey. every other game I own on Steam. Okay, that's not a reason for me to buy a console. If I'm gonna buy another console, I'm gonna upgrade my PC so I can play more games, not so I can buy the same games that I already own, but I'm gonna buy them twice because now it's in worse graphics. So that's how it is. And so anyway, this guy's like, "Oh, you're just being negative. You just hate Nintendo." I'm like, dude, seriously, look, how many games are there out for the Switch? Do you guys know this off the top of your head? How many original IPs are there that are available for the Switch?
Is it like 5? It's like a really low number.
It's 7.
I would say yes.
There are 7 games. He made the response that there's 150 games for this console. Yeah, there's 150 games, including all the indie games and re-releases. There are 7 original games. I know the system just came out. It's brand new, all that stuff. You know, the PS3 took a long time to get any decent games out on it. But the Switch has been out, what, 6 months at least, right? Something like that?
It came out at the beginning of the year, didn't it? Near the beginning of the
March.
year.
Okay,
Yeah.
so between March to October, you would think that there should be at least some decent games out. And there's not. And that's the one thing that's holding me back. I want to get a Switch. I honestly do. I played my little nephew's, he's not really little anymore, he's like 14. But I played his Switch, and I was playing Breath of the Wild. And that's not that game is great, but it was a fun experience. I liked the portability aspect of it, and the controls were enjoyable. I like the system, and I want to own one, but I don't want to own a system that doesn't have any games for it.
Yeah, well, like I said, I've always stuck to, and I still believe this, I will buy it once it drops $100.
Yeah, but hopefully there's more than
think
7 games out when it drops $100.
It's just hard to believe that a country that, comes out with games cutting edge can produce the Nintendo. And even me, I like the Mario games. I'll go out and say it. Like I even like the quirky Mario games like Mario Golf and Mario Tennis. They're, genuinely fun for me. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Whatever. But still, like, how hard are these guys working? The graphics are outdated on every system that they come out with, and they're just behind times a year, and they solely rely on the popularity of Mario.
Ricky, that's
Link.
okay. I'm fine with them relying on Mario and like Legend of Zelda and Donkey Kong, Star Fox, all that stuff, because that's why I'm buying a Nintendo consoles, because I want to play those IPs. I don't want to play another version of Skyrim. All right, but
agreed.
Nintendo has always had the mindset of we're not here to compete. We're here to create a product for people to have fun with, and I'm okay with that. But we actually need games to come out for me to have fun on it.
Yeah, it kind of sucks that Nick couldn't be here this time because he is a big proponent of the Switch, and I think he's getting more play out of it now than he used to. So but I still don't care. I still don't care. Mario's not enough for me. I have difficulty swallowing their bullshit. Still like my 3DS. Still like that. We'll
Dude,
still play
I
that.
love my 3DS. It's so good.
But yeah, I'm not gonna be buying a Switch. So, all right. Anybody else have any spooky games they want to cover?
The one game that I love to play when it's like spooky time, but I've had the biggest issue actually sitting down and playing it for the website.
Shower with Your Dad Simulator?
No, Splatterhouse.
Splatterhouse is fun, but
I love that game. So this is a complete nostalgia trip for me. I accidentally rented this game for the Genesis. So I think it was 3 was the first one that I played. Whichever one had the big giant like teddy bear that it like turned all gross and it like was all bloody and trying to like murder you and stuff. Something about these games, I'd never experienced anything like that, and I probably shouldn't have played it at the age I was, but it was kind of like one of those things with, oh, this looks cool. My mom was like, sure, whatever, buy it or like rent it. I didn't even own it. I just rented it over and over again, and still like to this day I love playing those games, and they're not even that good, and they're overly difficult, and the graphics even for Genesis were fine, but it's just something about that game. It touches a special place in my horror heart that, oh man, I love it. And if you've never played any of these games, you you need to play them.
That's because that's what you're into. Yeah, they're super neat because they take a lot from the slasher genre. It's kind of like you get to be the cool killer guy, but instead of murdering like just regular folks, you're murdering like zombies and ripping their faces off and stuff. It rules.
Yeah, the main character,
awesome.
he looks a lot like
Voorhees.
Jason Voorhees. He has like a similar mask. One of the cool things is if you want to experience these games and you don't, the games themselves are expensive as shit. Like I only have a copy of Splatterhouse 2, and I think it goes for like $60 or $70 for just the console. Yeah, they're really expensive. And then I know 3 is really expensive, and then the first one only came out on like I think TurboGrafx 16, so it's really hard to come by. And then there was one on I didn't know this. There was one on the Nintendo, the original NES. There was a Splatterhouse game.
What?
Did you know? Yeah, it was. I'll have to look it up. But yeah, it was. It doesn't fall in the same thing. It's like Totem Pocky Graffiti or something like that.
I had no idea. That's weird.
Oh, and that game is incredibly expensive. It's like $100 game.
Jesus.
Yeah, for real. But if you don't want to worry about having a retro console and you don't want to shell out that kind of money, if you buy the remake of Splatterhouse that came out on the Xbox 360, which it was a garbage game. It was so bad. It didn't deserve that namesake. But if you play through that game as you progress through the storyline, you actually can unlock the original games. They're on the disc. So that's the cheapest way to actually experience that franchise. And it has all 3, the first 3, or the technically 1, 2, and 3.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's the only reason I own that game is so I can play the.
Can you cheat to get to it?
I think so.
Sweet. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's how you do.
The game's not that hard. It's like a.
But then you have to play it. And nobody want to do that.
No, it's not. It's a mediocre kind of like Devil May Cry like clone.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
And I'm not like a huge Devil May Cry guy. I did like Dante's Inferno.
Oh, dude, Dante's Inferno is good.
That game's great. Yeah, I really love that game. I lent it to somebody at some point, and I never got my copy back. But I even love that I guess poem. I guess is what it is technically.
Mm-hmm.
Book.
It's a poem.
Yeah, I like that story a lot.
Yeah.
I actually thought about at one point getting because he has a map in there that's supposed to show you hell, the rings
Mm-hmm.
of hell. And I actually wanted to get that tattooed on me at one point. So, but I love that story. And that's another game that's really fun to play when it's all spooky, when it's all Halloween out.
So you can go explore in hell.
Gruesome. Yeah, go exploring in hell, man. That game is gruesome as hell. It's crazy.
The first half of that game is like absolutely just like so good. But the second half they got super lazy on, and it was just kind of like uninspired. But it was still fun. I played it. I beat it. I don't beat many games, and that's one of them.
Yeah. Did you rescue everybody, or did you damn them to hell?
No. It was kind of like some.
Oh, see, I always go one way or the other because with those older systems, if you don't go all the way good or all the way bad, you're just missing out.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, beyond that, Alan Wake is cool to play when it's spooky out. The problem with Alan Wake is I don't think you can get it anymore because they like lost the rights to all the music.
Yeah, you can't get it on PC.
Yeah, which is shitty because that's a really good game, and it even lends itself really well to being just a story, like a movie you could watch.
Mm-hmm.
And you actually can from them download a copy of the game that just plays itself as a movie, which is kind of neat.
Really?
Yeah. So that's a lot of fun. I'm trying to think of what else Darkest Dungeon has got to be up there because I actually started playing that again a little bit.
Oh yeah.
But that game is so hard. It's such an unforgiving game. It's really hard to get behind that game sometimes because it just when it kills off your characters or they're too crazy or everybody's needs healed up and you don't have any money to do anything or you don't have any characters left to explore with or it just feels like a constant struggle, and it's supposed to, but it's hard to get behind that and play it for extended periods of time. I feel like, but really, it's not so much the game itself that I like to play because it's spooky. It's like the art style.
Oh,
like
dude,
cool
it's so cool. Yeah,
I think that about wraps it up. Unless you've got anything else you want to talk about.
Nope. I think we're good. We can close out.
Awesome. Okay, well, we appreciate everybody hanging around, sitting through our games. Why don't you tweet at us at NerdLifeTX? Let us know what your favorite spooky games are. We've been pumping out some really great spooky content over on the website. You should swing over there and check it out. We've got some articles about witch movies and spooky games. And we're going to try and pump out another spooky podcast. It should be coming out around the same time this one is, so keep your eyes open for that.
Yeah, and we should probably maybe stream some spooky games too.
Yeah, we're going to try and stream some spooky games. Spooky games.
That's why you got to tell us what you like so that we can play it.
Toy Story 3.
Toy Story 3. Like,
yeah, it's the spookiest game ever made.
It's one of the worst games ever made.
Toy Story Racers.
Toy Story.
That's the spookiest game.
all the
that and Sonic.exe. Those are the only two spooky games.
Oh yes.
No thanks.
So yeah. It's just Murder Sonic. It's not the kind where you like see his blue wiener. That's a different kind of Murder Sonic.
Whoa. I've never played any of those games.
Two different genres. An ass for every seat, guys. So yeah, if you like us, like what we do, make sure you check out nerdlifetx.com. Everything we do will go there first. Make sure you check out astropandaproductions.com for Ricky's stuff, as well as the homepage for this podcast. We have some merch available still, as I pimped at the beginning. Make sure that you go over to tshirts.pizza to check out what merch is available and get you some t-shirts. Hey, the holidays are coming up. You know what your dad would like? A t-shirt with Sean's face on it. That's what your dad likes, so you should go and buy that.
My dad doesn't even like that.
No, he gets it because it's got my face on it.
That's right.
So yeah, make sure that you head over there to get your merch. Sean Piper, where can people find you online, on the internet, around the webosphere?
At GWS Rancor, and you can also follow NerdLife anywhere on the internet that there are following abilities at NerdLifeTX.
Awesome. Ricky, other than at We Are Astro Panda and Astro Panda Productions, is there anything else you want to make sure people check out?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitch this weekend streaming Mario Run all weekend long, a 36-hour Mario Run Fest at We Are Astro Panda. Catch me live on Twitch.
Yeah.
I wish that was so real. I would watch.
Also, all of the money is going to go into buying scratch-off tickets, which he will be scratching off on another stream.
Yes, with Honey Boo Boo.
Oh, God damn it. All right. So, cool. So, yeah, again, make sure you check out astropandaproductions.com. Check out all the other cool shows that they've got going on. We are still working on a few other podcast projects that we should be making announcements for soon, so make sure you keep your eyes open for that. Again, if you follow nerdlifetx.com, that's going to be the best place to find the ones that Sean and I are involved in. I think Ricky's going to be hanging around for a few more podcasts here. We've talked it over with him, and I think he'll be around for a little while doing a couple other podcasts. So that'll be cool, having Ricky around. So make sure you follow him so you know what's going on with him. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to our channel, page, YouTube, wherever you're hearing this. Make sure you subscribe to us. It's really awesome if you could do that. And hell, if you could leave us a review, that would be really awesome, especially on iTunes, because that's going to help other people find the podcast. Shit, if you know people that want to hear our voices, maybe you should give them a copy of it. It's super easy, it's free, it doesn't cost you anything, and it means that we get to keep doing this the more fans that we have and the more people that support us. So things like buying t-shirts, getting listens, and maybe even at some point a Patreon, if we decide to go live with that. You could really help us out, get our names out there, and the more that you guys support us, the more often we can do this stuff. So does anybody else have anything they want to say before we sign off?
No.
Mario out.
Yeah, Mario out. Hats down, son. Big bags of weed in your camera and swastika neck tattoos. Let's get it done. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out. We appreciate it. And we will talk to you later on. Bye.
Bye.
Toodaloo.